Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos dias. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the preterite of the regular AR verbs. When you want to talk about actions completed in the past, you have to use the preterite tense. Now in the past, in the first semester and in Spanish 1, we talked a lot about the present tense verbs. And preterite tense verbs are very similar. The conjugations are very simple. In the present tense, you remember how we had the root word. Let's say the word is hablar. Let's use that for example. Hablar, to speak or to talk. To conjugate the verb hablar in the present tense, you have your stem and then you have your ending. Habló, hablas, habla, hablamos, hablan. I talk, you talk, he, she talks, we talk, they talk, y'all talk. Simple. We've learned how to do that. The preterite tense is very similar in the preterite regular AR verbs. The difference is we have different endings. And the endings go as this. For the yo form, the ending is e, which is an e with an accent mark over the top. The to form is aste. The L form is o with an accent mark. You have to make sure you have that accent mark, and I'll show you why here later on. The nosotros form is amos. And you notice that amos is the same as it is in the present tense. And the context around that word will tell you whether you're using it in the present or the preterite. And the eos form is aron, A-R-O-N. And you'll see these if you look at those notes that I gave you as we're going through this video. It will really help you. So, for example, if we were to use the verb hablar, okay, remember we have the stem, and then we add the ending. So for the yo form in the preterite tense, yo hablé. And make sure you accent that E. That's very important when you're using it, when you're speaking. Yo hablé. Yo hablé al maestro. I talked to the teacher. The to form, yo hablaste. The he, she form, or él, ella form, él habló, ella habló. And this is where it's very important because there's a difference. When you say habló, you're saying he or she spoke. If you're saying hablo, I speak. So that accent on the O is very important to use in the preterite. The nosotros form, hablamos, and the ellos form, hablaron. So let's run through those again. Yo hablé, tú hablaste, él, ella habló, nosotros, nosotras hablamos, and ellos, ellas, ustedes hablaron. If you have any questions over this, make sure that you look at the notes and you pay attention to those real quick. And you may want to look at those as you're watching this video. I also put a couple other videos up on the website that you can look up that I downloaded off of YouTube. Just click on those links and you should be able to get through those. There's also some worksheets and some other things that you can look at to help you focus and learn a little bit more about these preterite verbs. Later on in this chapter, we'll also look at the verbs that end in CAR, GAR, and ZAR because they're a little bit different than those regular verbs like hablar, limpiar, bailar, and etc. Okay? If you have any questions, make sure you send me an email or send me a note through Twitter, and we could meet on Skype and try to figure out what we're talking about. Thank you. Adios.